You're listening to Up the Turnpike with hosts Mitch Anderson and Matt O'Leary.
Hello and welcome to the Up the Turnpike post-game show. What is going on? Matt O'Leary with Mitch Anderson. Mitch, how's it going, buddy?
Just stressing all over. There's the elections happening right now. I'm not even American and it bothers me. Like, it's part of my life. I'm stress eating candy. Like, it's insane. I got like 3 different beers here that I've had already. And then the Islanders were playing and not playing well for a while. And then had to kill a penalty in overtime. It was just
Stressful game.
super stressful. That's how I'm doing. How about you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing a lot better after the New York Islanders win in a shootout. Like a lot of things, the Islanders did a lot of things tonight that they normally don't do. So I think we can give them some credit, even though it wasn't perfect. It wasn't necessarily a pretty performance by the New York Islanders, but dare I say a gritty win for the Islanders as they win 4-3.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to dare to say that it was a gritty win, right? Like they scored twice at the end of the third period when they were down 3-1, and I think most of us were all down like they're not going to win this thing. But yeah, I'm glad they did it, man. Holy crap!
Absolutely. So, all right, let's get this rocking in the first period. No goals scored for either side, but to me, it felt like Pittsburgh came on really strong towards the tail end of the period. Shots ended up being 12-6 in favor of the Penguins. And it was like maybe the first 10 minutes or so of this game, it was both sides trying to feel each other out, low event. And then for the last few minutes, it reminded me, it was a little reminiscent of the Lane Lambert times for the New York Islanders, where it was like, all the play is going the other end, and your goalie's under siege. That's how I felt in the final couple minutes there.
Yeah, it really felt like Sorokin was doing the thing, and like Nick is pointing out here, like we need to give him a rest. He's playing too damn much. And even Andre is saying Sorokin is keeping this team from falling apart. He's been awesome this season,
Yes.
which he has. Both very good comments and very much on the point. It did feel like Lane Lambert type of hockey. And then we have to remember, like, Matthew Barzal is out. Anthony Duclair is out. Alex Romanov is out. Adam Pelech is out. Like, those are 4 key pieces to not just our top 6 forwards, but our top 2 defensive pairs. So, like, that impacts most of our 5-on-5 play in some negative way, shape, or form. And so I think the team was still trying to feel out how they could win this game, what kind of game Pittsburgh was going to play, and what they needed to do to counter it. And they hung around pretty well, I thought, with the Pittsburgh Penguins in that first period. Obviously, no one scored. They did double us up in shots, but I think that the Pittsburgh Penguins were perhaps the more ready team than we were.
Yeah, it certainly felt that way, at least to me. Now, the Islanders didn't play since Sunday, so it's like a normal rest. It feels like, early on in the year, you didn't get in this regular routine yet of the season, of the schedule. And now, they played on Friday, they play Sunday, they play Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Like, it feels like they're finally starting to hit their groove of like the every other day.
Yeah.
But again, it's they didn't feel ready to go at the start, and you were hoping that maybe a strong performance, albeit not on the scoreboard, but like just the game that they played against the Rangers, you were hoping that would carry over to this Pittsburgh game, and it honestly didn't.
No, it really didn't. Now, not to start things off. So first period, not a whole lot going on there, but that's quite all right. You ease into a game, I guess. And then shit goes south pretty goddamn quick in the second period.
A controversial goal here,
Yes.
Mitch. Sidney Crosby scores. But we're going to have to watch the dots here as 55 disappears right there. That's of note. But a little backhanded goal from Sidney Crosby. It's a nice backhand goal from Crosby, but the clear confusion is on what is or is not actually offside. I don't know how well this guy. It pulls up pretty good, actually. Is that left skate down on the ice? If it is, then that should have been ruled offside. It wasn't. Patrick Waugh goes bananas on the bench, even while the Islanders are killing off the power play. Because, by the way, if you challenge and the challenge is no good and you fail on the challenge, then the other team goes to power play. So not only were the Islanders undeservedly down 1-0, they then have to kill a penalty. And we know just how poor they are as a penalty kill team. Frustrating. I don't get the rule, apparently, then.
I don't get the rule either. Matt Martin was guilty of this in the playoffs. No, maybe not the playoffs. Was it the playoffs? It was a couple of years ago. Matt Martin was doing the same.
Was it not against the Penguins too?
I think you're right. Game 1.
Tom Kuhnhackl goal called back. I was in the building at the Coliseum for this.
It was the very first goal in that series, was it not? It opened up with them scoring. Handsome Tom in the first period, and Matt Martin was skating back. So he's basically where the pitch book was on the left side of the left-hand picture there, going to get off. He was getting off, and they called him for offside. And you're like, but he's completely inconsequential to the play, which is the argument they're making here. I get it's different years, and so obviously maybe rules have changed and people have had different or time to get their mindset on this, but this is offside as offside can get. Clearly, he is off there. His skate is still on the ice. The ruling that they were saying is that, well, the skate wasn't technically on the ice. And you're going, in what world can you see that? There's no way you can see that his skate is off of the ice. It doesn't matter. This is clearly offside, and if it's not, it's too many men on the ice. It would have to be offside. You would never even get to the point where it's too many men.
There we go. I paused it with the puck clearly over the line, and 55 still on the ice here.
They're also saying that 67 tipped the puck in the neutral zone, which I'm calling full-on shenanigans. I'm pretty sure the replay shows, at least the ones I've seen, the puck is tipped within the zone. 67, Raquel, I think it is, has his stick in the zone when he's redirecting that puck in. So either way, it's friggin' offside. I can't believe it. Obviously, Patrick Roy thought it was offside, as did the Islanders review people think it was offside. Even the guys in the broadcast were going, pretty sure that's offside. Pretty sure that's offside. And then when they called it back, it was, wow. They didn't know what to think anymore.
Strong confusion from the Islanders.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it.
Yeah. Don't get that one at all. Later in the period, though, the Islanders would get themselves on the board. Kyle Palmieri nets his 6th of the season early on. Nice play to kind of just like bat this one out of the air.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to end up. Yeah, we don't end up seeing it, but Maxim Siplikov does a great job a few times on this play. You don't see it in this replay because it happens quite a bit before, but he does a keep at the top of the blue line. Basically where Noah Dobson is on this replay. He keeps the puck alive in that offensive zone and allows for this possession to continue. And even here, he does the keep down in front of the net, or keep up, I guess, that allows the puck to go straight up in the air for Kyle Palmieri to bat down on the volley. Excellent job by Kyle Palmieri, who rightfully so here from, and Spiz is going to hate this, but Left Lock is saying, what a damn game, Palmieri for All-Star. And he's got 11 points, right? 6 goals. Spoiler, he would add a primary assist later. A pretty nice one, too, for Simon Holmstrom. He's got 6 goals, 5 helpers on the year so far. It's 11 points in 13 games now?
13 games. He's been good. He's been really
damn good. So, good job, Kyle Palmieri, to keep us in. But, of course, we couldn't keep that lead. Or that, not even. We couldn't keep it tied.
No, Maxim Siplikov takes a penalty. Stupid and, penalty. It was a dumb penalty. That's my one criticism of Siplikov right now. Like, I know Andre, you just to go down a little bit, says I've been really impressed with Siplikov. For the most part, I would tend to agree. I think he's been fine. But if I were to have a criticism on him, I think he's taking too many penalties right now.
Yeah, no, 100%. And they're dumb penalties. He's a big guy with a long stick, and he's just getting it in people's skates, right? Like, that's exactly what happened here with Erik Karlsson. Maybe a little bit soft on the call, but they end up making us pay for it with a great one-time goal. Grzelcyk finds Malkin far side, and he just whips it on. Sorokin gets a piece of it, though.
Like, Sorokin, do you think you should have saved that?
Yeah.
I think so, too. And I don't want to give Sorokin too much of a hard time because of how good he's been this year. But that's one of, maybe 2 goals you could put against him right now in all the games that he's played.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to allow some soft ones in every now and again. It's just so long as they're not continuous, or not continuous, but like they happen every game, which isn't the case with Ilya Sorokin. But this one was very much one that he shouldn't have allowed in, because he got enough of it. So
No, he definitely did. It would have been feeling a lot nicer if you were 1-1 after 2. Instead, you are down 2-1 after 2. And the shot differential in this one, actually not as bad as I thought. 14-10. I thought it was 14 to single digits. Maybe they added a shot at some point, but
I think they did.
Anyway, a lot of traffic going the Penguins' way in the second period.
A lot of traffic going the Penguins' way, but we turned that around in the third period. Yeah, because considerably, where we start taking control of that game in this third period here. Not only because we score a few goals, but we get a lot of shots on their net.
Yeah, well, it didn't start that way.
No.
We don't have the goal visualizer, unfortunately, but Michael Bunting gets his first goal of the season to put Pittsburgh up 3-1.
This was a really good pass from Puljujärvi, Grant Hutton, and Dennis Chalowski. Chalowski's in no man land, caught completely outside of where he's supposed to be. And so Puljujärvi and Grant Hutton are caught in a race, and Puljujärvi goes around Hutton to pass it back to a streaking Michael Bunting, who gets it on net. And Chalowski's nowhere to be found. Maybe Sorokin could have done something there, but he's got to play the shot from Puljujärvi, even though he's being pretty well harassed by the Islander defenseman. I forget who it was that was on him. It was Hutton.
Chalowski.
Yeah. So like,
sorry.
I think Sorokin probably could have done a little bit better there, but I'm not going to crucify him for it. It's really Chalowski should have been in position in the first place, and because he was caught out, that's where Michael Bunting is able to get this opportunity. So bad goal given up by us. I think it was either a bad change or Chalowski was just caught pinching and wasn't able to recover, which is not a good look.
No, it wasn't. And that 2-goal lead, I'm going to be honest with you, 7:44 into the period, I was like, this doesn't feel good, just based on how they've struggled to put pucks in the back of the net.
Yeah,
it's like, man, this is going to feel like one that got away from them tonight. But Islanders go to a power play, and they actually capitalize on it. I think we got to give some credit to Simon Holmstrom, who scored a really nice goal. Missed an opportunity to net one in the second period, which got to have. But again, credit to him here. He showed some patience, put it up in the toy department. Brendan. And the Islanders got back within one.
Yeah, that was super important for us to score. Like 20 seconds in, we score on the power play, which doesn't happen. Kyle Palmieri again finds Simon Holmstrom in that bumper position, and he just roofs it with the backhand. Super important goal for us for multiple reasons. Not only just does it bring us into the fight, but Simon Holmstrom scores his first of the year. We score on the power play. Just for so many reasons, this is a huge goal. We've also been pushing. Right, like we had 21. The Corsi was 65% in our favor in all situations in that third period. We were pushing and pushing hard to tie this game, which is great to see, obviously. And then we eventually get it to go because the top line, if you will, is productive.
Yeah, we'll pull up that visualization now as we see the goal from the top line. Mitch, I think we got to give Anders Lee some love. He's been really good and has a big play in front of the net, which led to this chance for JG Pajot that he capitalizes on.
Yeah, we were talking about this on the live stream. So, P.S. if you haven't signed up, sign up to our Discord channel, our Patreon channel, where we have a Discord. And on Discord, we watch games. We just hang out and watch the game live. We were talking about Ryan Pulock probably being the best Islander this season. Ilya Sorokin maybe number 2, if not number 1, depending on who you're asking, and Anders Lee being a clear number 3. Anders Lee has been excellent this year. He's earned the spot to go up. I know I was hesitant at first, but if anyone was going to get a call up to fill on that top role, it should have been Anders Lee, just with the way he's been playing and the hustle he's been showing. He's been leading by example, which is what you want to see from your captain, man.
Yeah, I think when you skew it or grade on like what expectation was and then reality, to me, I think Lee and Pulock are the top ones. Sorokin having the bounce back, we kind of expected that. Palmieri had a big 30-goal season a year ago, so not like crazy surprising to see him scoring goals, but everyone was really down on Anders Lee after last year. And I think deservedly so. He didn't play very well, but he's playing really good hockey right now. Probably the best hockey he's played in about 4 years.
Yeah, I totally agree. Since that injury, this is probably the best we've seen him in a while. So it's great that he's doing that while we have those injuries, right? Because we need him to step up to fill those spots with all these guys out. So excellent to see that Anders Lee is performing. So excellent stuff.
So Islanders force overtime. In overtime, almost immediately, Kyle Palmieri takes a penalty. I don't know if he had to do it, but I think with his body, so. No, he probably could have let it go. But my interpretation of why Palmieri took the penalty is he felt like he would have. Who was it on? Carlson. That's right. Would have had a clear shot to get one past Sorokin, and instead decides to take the penalty. Luckily, though, the Islanders PK comes up huge in a really big spot. Was not expecting that.
No, you go into overtime on the penalty kill for the Islanders, and you're like, no, we don't have this one, but we did. Oh my god,
and a 4-on-3 too, which is a harder PK than a 5-on-4.
So much ice. There's so much ice to try to cover, man. And they did a fantastic job on that penalty kill in a clutch situation. And then they go on their own power play, which I don't think was particularly good. I thought the penalty kill was better than our power play in overtime.
It definitely was. I did feel Brock might have hit 2 posts in overtime.
That's true.
He was one was definitely on the power play, and then I think there was one like in the weaning second. Oh no, that one must have been
happened beforehand, where he catches like the cross section basically of the post, right?
Yeah.
And like even Cal was saying on the broadcast, like that's Brock's favorite shot. He likes to hit that, and he usually does. And obviously he did not then, but game of inches.
It is a game of inches, but anyway, he was on the ice a lot because of the penalty kill in that period. He started the overtime period too, so it would have been nice to see him get one to go.
Yeah, like Sloppy said, felt bad for Nelson at overtime. Dude played nearly the full 5 minutes. Oh man, that's good. Keep that. See, they're helping me with their codes here, so Sloppy's helping me when it comes to our little game for the time on ice. Got to keep that factored in terms of Brock Nelson maybe being the leader in ice time for Islanders forwards.
You would think so.
You would think so. But nothing happens. There's no scoring in overtime. And then we go to shootout. And I think all of us, not only did we go to overtime going like, great, here we go, overtime. Oh, great. Power play for them. Now it's, oh, great, a shootout. Without Franz Nielsen, forget it.
Well, Bo Horvat, I think, accidentally scored one of the more beautiful shootout goals we'll see an Islander score.
He just, like, he tries, I think, like you said, by accident to just put it on net from the backhand on the full stretch. Thankfully, Nedeljkovic can't get settled straight down in the butterfly, and so he's got his nearest pad just raised enough where the puck can sneak under. Even Nedeljkovic couldn't friggin' believe that Bo Horvat scored that goal. And that proved to be the winner, man.
Yeah, it did. That seemed to be enough to do it, enough to do the thing, as Ilya Sorokin comes up and makes the saves needed. And the Islanders down 2 goals in the third period. This time come back and win. Right? They don't blow the lead. They're the ones doing the comeback.
Have we flipped the script? Hopefully.
I'm not ready to go that far, but I hope that we are looking back at this game and being like, wow, that was really the turning point in the Islanders season, is that comeback win against Pittsburgh. I hope that's where we get. I can't do that yet. That's not where I'm feeling right now. But again, a couple months from now, if we could look back on, man, they really hit their stride after that Penguins comeback win. That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. When you think about Isaiah George's game, Andre's bringing it up here.
Yeah, so we're gonna say don't look at his ice time if you haven't seen it. But he played more than I anticipated that he would, and something that even Cal Clutterbuck, who was down on the benches, was saying in this game, like, he hasn't looked nervous or uncomfortable. Like, he came in and what's literally his 5th career pro game. He only has 4 AHL games, and this 5th pro game was his NHL debut. and was fine. He was on the ice in the final minute of regulation.
Yeah.
That's a huge sign. Patrick Waugh doesn't do that for just anybody.
No, exactly. The Islanders organization, before even Patrick Roy, have liked Isaiah George, not only because they drafted him, obviously, in the 4th round, but when he is coming into training camp, he has been a standout for them. His skating, his gap control, and you saw it at London with the London Knights. He was a fantastic defenseman for them. Doesn't score a lot of points, but he's basically a more mobile Adam Pelech. And Adam Pelech is already a decent enough skater. Isaiah George is a step above in terms of the skating department. I thought the only flaws in his game was just experience. And not just like you need to be here more longer to be better. It's just he needed, like, timing was off a little bit. Some of the passes he made, he was doing things as he saw fit, which is what you're supposed to do. But the guys around him didn't really know what he was going to do. Like, there's a one pass he makes to Noah Dobson in his own zone, and Noah Dobson can't anticipate where it's supposed to be. And it just, results in a little bit of pressure in the Islanders zone. But that's going to happen in your first pro game at the NHL level. That's going to happen. And the fact that it only happened once really is fantastic to see from Isaiah George, man. He's going to get a couple more games, I think.
He definitely is. I know Slop could pull up Sloppy's comment on the Rosner one, because I'm going to pull up the Rosner tweet. So if you want to read that off.
2 things. I think Isaiah George earned himself some more games. Like I said, Rosner got a great quote from Peugeot on him. I could only imagine what Jean-Gabriel Peugeot says. I was nervous. Go ahead.
Yeah, in my first game, I was nervous. He looked calm. I don't know what's wrong with him. I thought he was awesome.
Yeah, he's going to be a decent player for us, I think. And I hope this kind of seals it for Samuel Bolduc, really.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Sucks.
I don't think Bolduc ever really. I shouldn't say that. I was gonna make an ice time comment, but I'm not gonna say that because I don't want to spoil it for you.
Oh, okay, all right. Noted. Again, the hints are being dropped everywhere. You got Sloppy dropping hint. You getting Sloppy and dropping a hint. It's all over. Here we go. I'm forming opinions and biases. I'm taking your biases and putting it in here. Let's go.
I love it. Who's leading the way for Islanders forwards tonight in ice time?
I'm going to say it's Brock Nelson.
Ooh, no, Bo Horvat. Actually.
Damn it.
23 minutes, 45 seconds for Bo Horvat.
Okay.
Brock Nelson was 2, though. He was at 21-27.
Ah, so close. So it was going to be a center. That's for sure. It's fine. Bo was fine. I thought he didn't have a great game, but he didn't have a bad game either. I thought he was okay.
I thought he was pretty good. He had 2 assists and had the shootout goal. So,
oh, yeah. I forgot about the 2 assists to add to that, the shootout goal. Okay, fine. All right. Great game. Great. Good job, Bowie Horvat. Least amount of ice time. Pierre Engvall.
Oh.
It should be. It should be.
It's Hudson Fashing by a lot.
Oh, really?
5 minutes and 12 seconds.
Oh.
Oliver Wahlstrom second at 7 minutes and 22 seconds.
I thought Wally was okay today. Did you?
Here's my issue.
Okay.
He got chances, never came anywhere close to the net on any of his multiple chances.
That's true. There was that one lead chance that he missed wide by like a couple of feet from the net. That's basically the same shot that he had for the empty netter a couple nights ago. But okay, fair enough. I thought he was okay and dealing well enough playing on that 4th line. Having a breakaway would have been nice. He's got to score a friggin' goal, man, just to feel the mojo again.
Yeah, he only qualified with 1 shot on goal, but I think there were a couple other opportunities that he probably had 2 shot attempts that missed wide, at least that I could remember. So would like to see him break through. Maybe that's all he needs for 1 to go through and then like the floodgates open, so to speak. But I found myself a little frustrated because yes, he was getting the chances, but the guy who's built off of his strong shot could not get the puck on the net.
Yeah, he's got 2 individual Corsi 4 at 5-on-5. I know he played Corsi 4, Wahlstrom 3. So 3 unblocked shot attempts towards the net for Oliver Wahlstrom today.
Okay.
So maybe not ideal, but he was fine.
Who are we thinking? Let's do time on ice for the defenseman.
I'm going to say that the leader for time on ice is going to be Noah Dobson.
It is 30 minutes and 2 seconds.
Oh my God.
Yeah, they did play a full overtime as well, and he was out there
True.
a lot for that. During regulation, I thought it was going to be Pulock in a landslide. Pulock ended up at 29:03.
Wow. Yeah, Pollock has been outstanding. He's been phenomenal. Again, probably our best Islander, in my opinion, outside of like Sorokin and maybe Kyle Palmieri.
I think he's been their best defenseman. I don't think it's really all that debatable.
That's fair. That's totally fair. Least amount of ice time. I'm going to say Dennis Chalowski. Ooh, Grant Hutton.
No, you had it. Dennis Chalowski. 8 minutes flat for Dennis Chalowski.
He wasn't good. He was not good.
Only 12 shifts.
I'd have to see his shift chart. I don't think he was out there for a goal outside of like the Michael Bunting one, which he was probably out of position for. But even before that, like his skating, he just wasn't finding himself in gaps or closing gaps quick enough. Isaiah George was just leaps and bounds better.
Isaiah George, 15:41.
Wow. Yeah, man. That's quite a bit of ice time for game number 1.
For game 1. And like, am I going to victory lap 15:41? No, of course not. But when like Samuel Bolduc was getting called up and getting like 8-9 minutes a night, and this guy's getting nearly double that and was playing in the final minutes of a tie game in regulation, I think that's a good sign from Patrick Waugh. And now again, like, that's not saying that Patrick's gonna give him those opportunities every single night and he's gonna get 15 plus and continue to grow. But that's a really good base and jumping out point.
Yeah, and we have to remember, not even remember, but realize that Patrick Waugh didn't just like throw him out there and he had like 8 shifts per period type of thing. He only had 4 shifts in the first period. He ended the first period with, I think, just under 2 minutes of ice time total. And then he's got, I don't know how many shifts in the second period, quite a bit. And he's got quite a bit of time in the third period. He even gets a shift in overtime. Like the guy, he trusted him to play in all situations. This is his first pro game at the NHL level. Outstanding stuff. I can't believe it. So what a hit in the 4th round for us. And I don't want to make it seem like he's going to be, a monster defenseman. He's probably going to be bottom 4. But you found a bottom 4 defenseman in the 4th round. That's huge.
If
you couldn't get that with Bolduc as a second rounder.
No, exactly. And that's where I was going to go, is if you find a regular NHL, like if he's Mike Riley for them as a 4th rounder, that's fine. Like just a reliable, like someone who you're comfortable with being in your top 6 and not a top pair guy, maybe even not a second pair left-handed guy, but just steady third pair, throw him out there 15 to maybe a little higher than 15. Like when he said it was at like 18 minutes a night, we'll say.
Yeah.
Maybe. Do you think he has a potential to play on the power play at some point?
No, I don't think so.
No. Okay.
No.
Just because I noticed his skating ability, and Patrick Waugh, his main takeaway was his skating in the post game.
Yeah.
So my thought was just maybe at some point would they consider?
No, I think if anything, he's going to probably end up playing some penalty kill time and be decent at it because he is mobile. He closes gaps. He's smart with his positioning. So he'll probably be a decent penalty killer, but remains to be seen.
TBD.
Yeah.
So let's do some Sorokin numbers also. He was, let me pull this back up so we can share this on the screen. 32 of 35, 914 save percentage. I thought outside of the second goal, the power play goal from Malkin, I thought he was good in this game. I would say, not elite or amazing, but good.
Yeah, and if he saves that one, he stopped 33 or 35 for a 942. That's a big difference. One shot went from a 9-4, not even rounded up to 943 to a 914 save percentage because he didn't stop that one-timer on Evgeny Malkin. Yippalai. But yeah, he was good. He kept us in this game, even though we were behind 3-1. It probably could have been worse if Sorokin wasn't playing as well as he was.
Yep.
So. Beauty. Do you want to get to some of these comments while we go?
Yeah, pull up a couple comments before we get out of here.
Okay. We have Nick saying they need to learn how to hit the net. So many opportunities wasted by missing the net.
That was my main comment on Wallstrom, but he wasn't the only one. Lee sent one wide, which you mentioned before. Nelson had a couple opportunities that went off the post. They gotta capitalize on these.
They do. And so, yeah, the Islanders didn't win the Corsi battle with 55 shot attempts to the 65 for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Not a big shooting game necessarily, even just in the attempts department. But we have 55 shot attempts and only 26 go on net. You want to start seeing closer to the 50% mark, right? Like divided by 2. Yeah. Which is, I guess, it's not far off. 27.5 is 50%, but you want to be over 50% of your shots. Half your shots should be hitting the net, or else why are you taking them?
Yep.
So, Spiz, what's up, Spiz? Thanks for being on the live watch along with me. Says, hey, Bo Horvat had a day, which is true.
Yeah, the two assists. He's been their main forward that they rely on, which is expected because he's their top line center. But even more so than Brock, I feel like they're leaning and asking a lot out of Bo Horvat with who they're putting with him. Yeah. At least with Nelson, like he has the guys that he started the year with in Siplikov and Palmieri, while Horvat lost both of his wingers and is still producing. So I just wanted to tip my cap to him.
Absolutely. That's a good tip of the cap. Andre says on the Siplikov penalty front, they will go down because he'll get used to the NHL game and how penalties are called. Probably. There's a fair comment to be made there that Siplikov will sort that part of his game out. Because he's got how many penalty minutes so far this year? 12 penalty minutes. Because I for some reason the NHL has so they have the career stats for like this year and his career total, but the career total doesn't match the number though for this year.
Why? That's weird.
Right? It's supposed to be the same thing.
Yeah.
So 13 games played, 8 points. It's pretty goddamn good. And 12 penalty minutes. He's averaging close to a penalty minute a game, which is a bit high. You want that to go down, but maybe once he figures out spacing and the stick usage, that'll go down.
I think so.
South says, is it me? Me tell you Holmstrom and Siplikov have enormous skills. They are legit top 6 forwards. I've been saying that since the beginning. I would put Engvall on the 4th line. No qualms about Engvall on the 4th line for me.
Did he not play on the 4th line tonight?
He may have been in the middle 6.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't disagree with the Engvall one. Siplikov, I'm significantly higher on than Simon Holmstrom. I know Holmstrom netted one today.
Yeah.
It was his first of the year. But he doesn't convert well on the chances that he does get. I think he's a decent bottom 6 kind of shutdown defensive forward, but I don't think he's going to give you anywhere near enough to be a top 6 guy.
No, he's not. I don't think he can be a top 6 guy either. Maybe a second line guy to fill in, but I don't think he's an everyday top 6 guy. I really don't. He says further for the 4th line, he'd put McLean, Engvall, and Cizikas on the 4th. Yeah, sure. I would do that for sure as well. And no qualms for me. Although maybe a little bit of a qualm. I'd rather have someone else than Engvall. I don't like Engvall's game.
No, he wasn't particularly good. Although the Islanders don't really have a choice because they have Cizikas as the 3rd line center right now because of the injuries, and they have Peugeot moved up as a winger.
Yeah.
Cizikas has had a really rough start to this year, man. I don't think. Yeah, I don't think he's looked particularly well, which is tough.
Yeah, but it's fine. It's only 4th line. But Engvall is, I think, the one where I'd be like, I'd push back on the Engvall thing. Okay, and then Sloppy's talking about the Bo Horvat. Looks like an accident. Absolutely. Andre kind of saying what you're saying. I know Holmstrom scored, but I still don't care for his game or his consistency.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. He's not consistent enough for me, but
no,
maybe like I think he's probably best suited for the 4th line right now, but they just have too many guys in the lineup who probably are suited for a 4th line role.
Exactly. We would need guys above him to push him down the lineup into that position where he would probably be more suited. But because he's better than the guys below him, you got to have him higher up in the lineup. And then Andre closed it out by saying, we draft quite well in the 4th round. Nods to Isaiah George. Problem is we miss on our first, Simon Holmstrom, and second rounders, Samuel Budzik. That trend has to end. Maybe it will with like Danny Nelson, Callie Odelius. These are second rounders that, we might turn into something, but we do draft well in like the 4th, 5th range. Williams Full, Matthew Maggio. These guys might still be NHLers at some point, maybe. So, and then obviously Isaiah George.
Good sign. My takeaway, good sign for Isaiah George.
Yes, absolutely. And that was the final comment. I think I got everyone's. So thank you a lot, everyone, for joining in on the discussion on this late game. It's 11 o'clock on a big day in the US of A because of the election. So thank you for joining us on this Islanders podcast.
I just realized that I had the tweet here. I could share. No, I can't share my screen because it's on a different Google Chrome. I never tweeted out the link to the watch the postgame. So it's sitting up as a draft still. So I'm going to tweet it out now, but so people can watch it after the fact.
Yes.
But thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. Big Isles win. Hopefully we get to talk about another one on Thursday, and we got a pod tomorrow. So busy week for us here at Up the Turnpike, Mitch.
Absolutely. Yeah. Busy week. Anthony, absolutely get that in before the buzzer. George was great. Team played well, but the snakes are unreal. Giveaways are unreal.
Giveaways too high.
Yeah. Giveaways way too high.
That'll do it. I'm Matt. He is Mitch, and we will catch you next time.